This is the first in a series of videos about our big summer holiday for the year. And it's been a couple of years since we had a big summer trip, which was 3 years ago. We went to Florida and we had a fantastic time, but we decided that this year would be the year for our next big trip. We looked at where we could go, what we could do. We had a look at California. We looked at Dubai. We thought about Dubai. And there are some other options on the table that we were contemplating. However, my wife actually suggested to me that we tried Pigeon Forge. I was quite surprised when she suggested that as an option, but I wasn't disappointed, I'm not going to lie. Pigeon Forge, in case you don't know, if you live outside of the US, you've probably never heard of Pigeon Forge. Pigeon Forge is a tourist destination in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. It hosts various different tourist destinations, tourist things to do, as well as Dollywood. Dollywood is one of the best theme parks in the world. I think it was voted the best theme park in the world at the Golden Ticket Awards last year. However, this year that went back to Europa Park. But Dollywood's always been somewhere. Anyone who's interested in theme parks in any way will always want to go to see Dollywood. The rides look amazing, the theming looks fantastic, and the whole atmosphere of the place looks brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what we've decided to do, why we've decided to do it, and how much certain things have cost us for this trip, to give anyone who's watching an idea of how much a trip like this might cost. Now, the prices for the booking of the trip are going to be in pounds. I am British. If I booked something through a US website, I may include the dollar amount, but the likelihood is I will just tell you what it cost me in pounds, because it's easier for me, because that's how much came out of my bank account. So first of all, we are going, as I said, we're going to Tennessee, we're going to Pigeon Forge. We're also going to be visiting Atlanta, and I'll explain why we're visiting Atlanta at some stage. We'll be heading into Atlanta first of all, and we'll be on the first day of our actual holiday. Second day of the holiday. First day is our flight, is our travel day. On the second day of the holiday, we'll be heading to the Georgia Aquarium, which is one of the world's best aquariums and hosts a whale shark, which I've always wanted to see. From there, we're going to do the drive up to Pigeon Forge. We've booked a cabin in the Smokies, which suits out. It should work really well for our family. We've got 12 nights in Pigeon Forge, which for a lot of people, especially American people, they might be wondering, that seems to be an awful lot of time in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. This could be the only time we ever go. So therefore, we want to make sure. Make sure we try to visit and see and do as much, if not everything, that we can do. What we do in Pigeon Forge and in Gatlinburg, which is the next town over, which is known as the gateway to the Smokies, I'll go over in more detail for some of the things we're planning to do in those areas in a further planning video. From Atlanta to Pigeon Forge is about a 4-hour drive, so that's not too bad, I don't think. But it's one of the reasons why we're staying over the first night in Atlanta, because I didn't fancy doing the 4-hour drive straight off the back of doing a flight from London through to Atlanta, which is about 9 hours. From Pigeon Forge, we'll be driving over to Nashville for 3 nights. It's about a 3.5, 4-hour drive. So we'll be staying there for 3 nights. We'll be looking around the city, doing a city tour, and heading out onto Broadway to experience the nightlife. Are going on holiday with Lisa's niece, which will enable us to have a babysitter one night, and for Lisa and her niece to go out one night on Broadway. From Nashville, we are planning on going to Graceland. We know it's a long trip. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from Nashville to Graceland. Whilst we're in Tennessee, we wanted to go and see the home of Elvis. We thought it was something we should do. Lisa is as well as being a fan of Dolly Parton, she's also a big fan of Elvis, so it'd be really interesting for her. Maybe not so much for the boys, but there's some planes and cars there they might find interesting. And we'll probably hop across the border to Arkansas just to say we've been to visit another state, just because we can whilst we're there. After we've spent the 3 nights in Nashville, we'll be driving back to Atlanta for a couple of nights, where we're going to visit Fun Spot Atlanta. I'll be honest, the main reason for me going to Fun Spot Atlanta is Air Force One, which looks like a phenomenal roller coaster. There are some other rides there as well, and some go-karts, but Air Force One is the big draw, and Six Flags Over Georgia on the Sunday. We have to put in the Atlanta stuff at the weekend, because Fun Spot and Six Flags Over Georgia aren't open during the week at the back end of August. There's a reason why we chose the back end of August to do this trip. In the UK, the children have the summer school holidays are about 6 weeks long, which is a bit less than they are in America. But our holidays generally run from the second week of July through to the end of August, and the kids go back to school at the beginning of September. US schools go back second week in August for the most part, especially in Tennessee. So when we're actually in the States, the children are mostly back at school, so it should be a little bit quieter, especially during the week. Maybe not so much at the weekend, but during the week it should be a little bit quieter, which will help us for queues and stuff like that. However, as I say, Six Flags Over Georgia, Fun Spot are only open at the weekend, so I'm hoping they won't be too busy. But it is what it is. And then from there we'll be flying home. But that's the overview of the trip. I'll go into some more details with some other areas of the trip as we go along, and this will be set up as a series on YouTube. So thank you for listening. Any questions, any queries, any suggestions, please put them in the comments below. Any suggestions for the area, I'd love to hear them, because we're looking for ideas and things to do all the time. I've done quite a lot of research on where I want to go, what I want to eat, and but I'm sure there'll be things I've missed. I'm 100%. So all I've got to say is, for the end of the video, I'm trying to add this as a catchphrase. It's a weird catchphrase. I don't know why I chose it, but get out there and explore your world.
You have been watching Munchy Road Hippopotamus. Thank you for joining us in our adventures. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy our channel, and tell us about any adventures that you have in the comments below. Get out there and explore your world.